they're doing it again. Survivor 49 is crafting a narrative, and Savannah, or Sav as we know her, is caught in the crosshairs of the most classic editing trope in reality television, the villain edit. And trust me, it's more deliberate than you think. In this deep dive, we're dissecting Survivor 49's strategic manipulation of Savannah's storyline. We'll uncover how the edit is amplifying her snarky remarks and strategically one-sided comments, while systematically downplaying her crucial social bonds and nuanced gameplay. By the end of this, you'll see not just Savannah, but the entire Survivor narrative, through a completely different lens. This isn't just about one player. It's about the show's deliberate attempt to create a dramatic arc, painting a specific picture for the audience, often at the expense of a complete truth. Let's start by examining the on-screen evidence. What we've been presented with is a player characterized by sharp, often biting, confessionals. When Savannah speaks in a solo interview, the content frequently leans into critical assessments of other players or declarations of her own strategic prowess. Look closely at how these sound bites are placed. They often follow moments where she might have a legitimate strategic disagreement, but the edit frames it as an almost dismissive or condescending viewpoint. For example, recall the discussion around the last tribal council. Savannah's concern about a specific voting bloc was expressed, but immediately after, we got a confessional emphasizing her perceived intellectual superiority, rather than the tactical validity of her point. Contrast this with the almost invisible social game she must be playing to remain in contention. We see fleeting glimpses, a quick laugh, a shared glance, but these are often overshadowed by a subsequent confessional that reestablishes her as a lone wolf or a detached strategist. Think about the camp life segments. While other players are shown engaging in lighthearted banter or deep personal conversations, Savannah's screen time in these moments is often minimal, or it's quickly intercut with her giving a direct, outcome-focused strategic assessment. It's as if the producers want us to forget she's a human being capable of forming genuine connections. This isn't new territory for Survivor. The comparisons brewing on our Survivor and our Ejik to archetypes like Parvati are not accidental. We've seen this play before. A strong, strategic female player whose calculated moves are presented as ruthless, while her social dexterity, which is undeniably essential for her survival in the game, is largely omitted. The edit creates an impression of strategic unilateralism. We hear Savannah's thoughts on her game, her plans, but rarely do we see the collaborative discussions or the subtle relationship building that forms the backbone of successful Survivor gameplay. Consider the challenge beast narrative versus the social queen. Both require skill, but one is often presented as admirable, the other as manipulative. Savannah is being positioned in the latter camp, but without the full picture of her social engagement. The editing choices consistently highlight moments where she appears to be acting purely in self-preservation, even if her actions are simply logical responses within the game's dynamic. We see the sharp tongue, the skeptical glance, the confident assertion, all hallmarks of a villain in the making. Let's dissect specific instances. Remember the hideaway reward challenge? The initial reaction footage after the selection. While others expressed excitement or camaraderie, Savannah's commentary focused on the strategic implications, the shifting alliances. Perfectly rational in Survivor, yet edited to emphasize a colder, more calculating approach. Look at the background reactions when Savannah is speaking at Tribal Council. Often the camera cuts to another player with a subtle look of skepticism or disagreement. This isn't accidental. It's a visual cue, a subtle nudge to the audience to view Savannah's statements with a critical, perhaps even negative bias. It's effective, insidious storytelling. The edit is meticulously crafted to ensure that by the time she potentially makes a move the audience disapproves of, or is ultimately voted out, we're primed to accept it as a justified outcome for the villain. The community discussions are not just speculative. They are based on a long history of Survivor editing patterns. The villain edit often serves two primary purposes: to provide a clear antagonist for the narrative, or to lay the groundwork for a dramatic fall that feels earned to the viewer. In Savannah's case, the jury is still out on whether she's being set up for a satisfying ouster or being carefully molded into a strategic queen, whose cutthroat game is only fully appreciated in hindsight. What is clear is that the current presentation is deliberately stripping away the layers of her social gameplay, leaving us with a two-dimensional strategic operator. What does this mean for Survivor 49? It means we, as viewers, are being guided. The narrative around Savannah is not an objective portrayal, but a curated one. The continuous emphasis on her snarky remarks and strategic pronouncements, at the expense of her social connections, is designed to shape our perception. If Savannah goes deep, expect a sudden shift in the edit, revealing the social bonds we've been denied. If she's blindsided, the villain edit will serve as the perfect justification. Keep watching, but watch critically. This season, more than ever, the story of Survivor isn't just happening on the island, it's being painstakingly constructed in the editing bay. The question isn't whether Savannah is a villain, but why the show wants you to think she is. That's the breakdown. But the final verdict is yours. What key piece of evidence did I miss? Leave your theory below. Subscribe to Beyond the Take, so you're ready for the next case.